Today's Talk 365 TV's Talking Wellness segment is presented by Brain Rehab Clinic. And welcome back to Talk 365 TV. I've had a lot of reaction from the last show where people said, Tripp, your mind is so off. Why are you not going to see Dr. Seth?
Really?
Do you think that's...
Is that a lot of reaction from
No, it's from friends of mine.
family?
Yeah, just to point out that maybe my thinking process is not...
Well, I have a question for you. As a kid, we talked a lot of sports, ironically, today, and a lot of ballet and a lot of training and stuff. Growing up, and obviously with ballet being as heavily a part of my life as it was, I took, BYU ballet camps. I took summer camps from special teachers that came in, summer intensives. Did you do that as a kid with sports? Was that a big deal where you grew up?
No, because we just played so much. But what was funny is in hockey, I remember some of the really good young players in my town. Mm-hmm. There was a hockey camp in Aspen, Colorado.
Okay.
And these guys are players who went on to have great careers. Uh-huh. And they really wanted me to go, and I learned a lesson.
Okay.
If someone better than you wants you to do something, chances are you're driving. And they wanted me to go to the Aspen hockey camp because I could have driven from Detroit to Aspen.
Okay, so you were just really...
I was the driver.
A ride.
Driving Miss Daisy, and I chose not to do it. I remember.
Oh, so you didn't do it?
Yeah, my parents kind of said they're just using you for...
They're pretty expensive. As far as upping your game, a lot of these camps are pretty costly, but... If it's something that your kid loves, or if it's something as a kid that you love and you know it's something you want to do into high school and into college, I know I would present my mom with the brochures for that summer's ballet stuff and have some presentation to get her to sign on.
What's the most expensive camp that your mother did for you?
I can't even remember, and I don't want to ballpark it to say something wrong, but at least a couple $100s a week. You're doing it all day long and taking class after class after class in some of these intensives. And I know with the football and basketball, it gets costly too, as far as hiring on a private coach and doing that.
So there are hockey camps now. They do up in Lake Tahoe that a ton of my friends go, 3 or 4 day camps. And obviously when you get to be in 40s, 50s, you're not skating 8 hours a day. It's maybe 3 hours a day, but they're great ways to improve.
Really good ways to improve. So basically, Dr. Seth, there at the Brain Rehab Clinic, he works with your brain because there are things that cannot be firing and working correctly that could be holding you back in performance and in your game and getting better at the sport that you love to do. And you might be working as hard as you can, building your muscles, and no matter how hard you work, you can't get that improvement if you don't fix the brain. And we always talk about the brain and all of the different new information that we have now and how exciting it is. This is one of those exciting things because if you've had a concussion, most definitely get in there because your brain is not firing right, and you know that if you've looked into it at all. But even if you haven't, there are things they can do to help you speed up your game, be better at your game, whatever it is you're performing in, they can make you better at it. So here, check it out.
Talk 365 TV's Talking Wellness is brought to you by Brain Rehab Clinic, with wellness team expert Dr. Seth.
Hey everybody, it's Holly Love, and I am back at the Brain Rehab Clinic with Dr. Seth this time. Dr. Seth, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. So you're officially Brain Rehab Clinic, and you're right off the freeway here in Orem. Mm-hmm. Very conveniently located, and you have tons of new equipment. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Yeah, so the first equipment that we have is our balance machine. It's called a CAPS unit. What we're doing is checking balance, making sure that people can move their head side to side, forward, backwards, and how they relate to gravity. Mm-hmm. That's always an issue because, we're on Earth. You can't get away from the gravity. The other thing we're going to do is look at the eyes through a couple of machines that we use to check how the function of the brain is working. And then we also check our visual space and our hand-eye coordination.
And who's coming in here? Because you help a lot of people, college students, high school students, athletes, get better or heal from concussions, head injuries, or just perform better, right?
Exactly. We see a lot of patients who are trying to make that next jump to be able to be on varsity, to be the star player, but they kind of hit a wall because their brain's not functioning no matter how hard they practice, how much time they spend in the gym, they're just never quite there. Mm-hmm. So we're going to check those brain functions to make sure they're working properly, and then take them to that next level. And then the same thing with concussions. If someone's received a concussion, they again might have a little dizziness, a little discoordination. Mm-hmm. Again, we just rehab that brain to get them back to that level that they were at before or even better.
That's awesome. And what about kids that are struggling with studying, staying awake, ADD, attention?
Mm-hmm. We see a lot of that, especially being so close to UVU. We see a lot of people that are struggling with midterms, finals, studying. They're just exhausted throughout the entire day. And again, it comes down to how that brain's functioning. being able to focus on a task at hand, being able to disregard other external stimuli. So again, it's just making sure that brain's functioning the way it's supposed to, and then studying becomes a non-issue. Testing is much more easy, and you retain a lot more of the stuff that you are trying to learn.
And you offer payment if parents of these kids have, is it a flex pay or what do you call it?
A health savings account, that's usually the best way to get it all covered at once. Just have that ready and we can get the care started, get the testing done, and figure out what we got to do to change these brains.
So get in here to the Brain Rehab Clinic, and what happens if they mention Talk 365 TV?
We get a 10% discount on the initial visit and all the testing.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your amazing new facility. All the great things coming down the pipeline here. Definitely call soon because schedules fill up fast. So you want to get on this guy's books right away. Call the Brain Rehab Clinic and, mention Talk 365. Get in here with a little gyro stem action, right? All right. Thank you, Dr. Seth. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Talk 365 right after this.